welcome to the Enterprise World Magazine's interview series, where we feature some of the most dynamic leaders shaping the future. Today, we are honored to have with us Mr. Santosh Sahu, the CEO, director, and co founder of Go Green Warehouses Private Limited. Mr. Sahu's visionary leadership has transformed Go Green Warehouses into a pioneering force in the Indian agritech industry. His journey is one of resilience, innovation, and a deep passion for driving change in the agriculture sector. We are excited to learn from his insights today. Welcome, Mr. Sahu, and thank you for joining us. Yes. So, Mr. Sahu, can you walk us through your entrepreneurial journey and also what inspired you to co found Go Green Warehouses and how did your background influence this decision?
Actually, I belong to a very rural, interior rural village of Odisha. I have done my education into agriculture, so that was the first, instinct that gave me to come into this place. So from the beginning, I wanted to work for the farmers and rural community. I had a long journey with the corporates and MNCs for around 17 years, working with Godrej, Reliance, RPG Group, and a few Indian logistics companies. So I thought that now it is a time when you have something in your brain, then you should execute it in the Indian market. So now the middle class is growing, and now the economy is also good. So this is a time when you can arrange capital and you can start executing your dream. So that was the vision when I met Maulik Sahu, who is financer, and he's one of the directors in the company. He's a financer also. So so we met when I was working with NBSC, National Ball Painting Corporation. One. So I was using his facility. He had a warehouse in Ahmedabad. So that's how we met together. So from there, actually, we had a thought that in this industry there is a lack of trust. So let us start something where we can build together trust in the industry, so that along with your professional experience and his entrepreneurial experience, he is a fourth generation entrepreneur. So we thought that let us put both of us our ideas and start this. So that was the beginning actually when we started in 2018. So his father was into chemical, he was into commodities and land and different kind of real estate business. So he has fourth generation. He is a fourth generation entrepreneur. So with his guidance, I could take a decision to quit my job and start this journey. So that was the beginning of the journey in 2018. That is in the month of August. So that was the starting of the company. Yeah.
Oh, sir, that's excellent. So, Go Green Warehouses has experienced remarkable growth. So, what do you believe are the key factors that have contributed to the company's success in the agri-tech industry?
Basically, I told there are two things. There are two problems actually we have identified in the initial stage. So, number one, there is a lack of trust because agri commodity, it is a huge quantity, with huge volume. If you say perishable as well as non-perishable. So farmer produce it, then it goes to aggregators, then from aggregators to traders, then wholesalers, then to processors, exporters, importers. So and then it goes to processing and then comes to the retail chain, then to consumer. So it's a very long path where the commodity has to move a long path where there is a huge loss. So the losses is estimated to around 30-40% what is produced by the farmer. So by creating a warehouse chain, we are trying to minimize that 30-40% loss. So, but actually in warehouse itself, it is not 30-40%. It is in the entire value chain. If you say warehouse, then there is a research done by FICCI. It is estimated that around 10% loss is happening in warehouse level. So we are targeting that 10%. So let's say 330 million metric ton of food grain is produced in India. So 10% means it's a huge quantity. So we are trying to minimize that loss to less than 1%. So that is a one problem we are solving. So we are creating through scientific warehousing, preservation and storage technique, how to minimize the losses to less than 1%. And in some commodities, we are also giving gain. So like, so moisture gain and other gain by good practices, good scientific practices. So that's how the agri value chain players, they are creating well. They are saving a lot of money. and the liquidity problem is solved. So this is the first problem we have seen. Second thing is when there is a huge production in the rural area, that time the farmers they sell at a very low price, at a distress sell is happening. So they are not getting the proper price. So what we thought, let's create a chain of warehouse with some financing facilities in the warehouse, so that any farmer or any aggregator they wanted to store the material for a while, and when the prices are good, they can sell it up and they can book good margins, 30-40% of margins. So that is the second thing we are creating. We have tied up with banks, NBFCs, a lot of financial institutions, and we are trying to facilitate financial facilities against the commodity stored in the warehouse. So we had a loan book of around 5,000 crore with banks and NBFCs in last 5-6 years. So that is the second problem we are solving, the distress sale, and creating, through financing, creating wealth for the agri-value. So these are the two major problems actually we are solving. Plain vanilla, two problem. It's a huge problem, big problem. So we are trying to solve it through our company.
That's superb, sir. So, innovation is central to any business. So, how do you foster a culture of creativity and forward thinking within your organization?
You have to change yourself now. If you see the organization, it is our average age is 32 years. So you can imagine like Hindustan Unilever or big companies, the average age is very high. So when you have a generation G, so they need quick results. So you need to have both the things at your hand. At one point of time you have to do a lot of research and you have to go slow. At other point of time you have to have quick decision making, so that the young generation can cope up with you. So these are the two things actually we have taken as a growth engine, where we promoters are ourselves involving in the business, like unlike other organizations where they take the professionals and start the business, so that they do not get the decision making through bureaucratic process, it gets delayed. But here it's a quick decision making process. So if somebody wants to do some innovation at any point of time, or new business or new kind of a thing, immediately you will get within 24 hours the decision can be given. So we do not wait for a board meeting or something like that. So that's a actually strength actually. So that is why we could able to grow in 6 years amongst the top three agri warehousing company in India. So it's a decision making process and involving everybody on the day to day decision making that made us grow the organization.
That's fantastic. And sir, because you talked about the evolving thing, my next question aligns to it that agri-tech is rapidly evolving industry. So, what emerging trends or technologies do you see playing a critical role in the future of agriculture?
Agriculture, as I told, these number of nodes are many. So I think blockchain is something that is going to help agriculture at a large extent in the future, because it is totally unorganized right now. So even if you go to a PMC mandi, when there is a vegetable seller or something like that, they are also not knowing how to use an invoicing. So they are doing kacha invoicing and all that. So I think blockchain is something where it can bring more transparency and trust in the in the entire value chain, because there is a farmer in a village who is producing a lot of mangoes. He is selling to an aggregator. That aggregator is again selling it to a wholesaler or exporter, and they are sending it to overseas. And then overseas person do not know where the mango has come. So I think the traceability and this blockchain, the kind of block, if the common ledger will be there, then everybody can know what is the kind of transaction is happening, so that this will bring a lot of transparency. So I think that is one of the area I am looking at in next 10 years. In every value chain, if you see any commodity, this blockchain will play a vital role. Second thing is this artificial intelligence and ML, machine learning. That is already we are using it, because in day-to-day thing, when you are thinking about automation, then these two technologies are very very important. You cannot monitor each and every person. At when you have 2-3 warehouses, that is okay. When you have thousands of warehouses, it is very difficult to monitor each and everything. So through our CCTV and AI ML integration, we can able to know when the person is working, when the person is absent, when the truck has arrived, what is the number of bags unloaded, what is the number of bags loaded. When there is a quality analysis is done through IoT devices, we are able to judge the quality of the material within 30 seconds. Earlier it was taking 2 days, 3 days by drawing a sample, sending it to the lab, then testing physically and giving the result. So all those things are emerging actually, I think. So digitization, digital transformation is a major thing I am thinking as a warehouseman that will create a lot of impact in the business, and it will also bring efficiency, and it will also reduce a lot of cost and maximize our profit.
That's great. I think those are some really fantastic insights right there. So, you've led your company through both, growth as well as challenges. So, what leadership strategies do you use to navigate uncertainty and also maintain that momentum?
Basically, now uncertainty is there in the air, so you cannot predict tomorrow what is going to happen. If there is and agriculture is most affected because it is affected through political decisions. It is affected through climatic thing. It is also affected by quality. It is affected by price. So there are a lot of uncertainty variable factors are there. So we keep on giving arbitrage to different geographies and different commodities when we work as a company. So for example, let's say this is a Kharif season. So if there are 10 commodities, then we have to spread across 10, 15 states where these commodities are there. If one commodity will fail, then we try to make up with the other commodity. So that is one of the things we do during the uncertainty. For example, last year there was no soybean. So we had to work with paddy and make up. So we have extended ourselves deep into the paddy regions like Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, like that, and we could able to make up our revenues and profits. Similarly, when that is one thing. Second thing, as far as your team is concerned, this is an unorganized sector, so your people are untrained. It is not white collar job like IT industry and all. You have to keep on training your employees again. So you cannot tell that this person will be staying with us for a long time. So because these are very low salaried employees, they can move to other organization very easily. So you have to train them continuously so that at the bottom of the operation at the last mile, you will have trained manpower. So that is the two factor I think you have to be very careful, and this too will give you path to expand your this thing, because this is totally manpower oriented business. If you have a resource, whether you have IT or not, but resource is very crucial at the bottom of the last mile. So you have to keep your employees motivated. You have to make your employees skilled. That is the only solution. Yeah.
That's fabulous, sir. And sir, because you've had such a distinguished journey in the agriculture sector, what advice would you like to give to aspiring entrepreneurs who want to enter the agri-tech space or even start their own venture?
It's very simple, like me. So you have to initially get exposed to different industry for 2 3 years. You have to go to industry. You have to learn how different aspects of value chain works. Then you should start your venture. That is the best idea I can give. Capital is available now. It is very easy to get capital, but idea and capitals are available. But how to execution is very important. So your team building skill and executing your idea will take you, to success of the story. And there are three things. You have to have patience. At least 1,000 days of patience you require to establish your organization. Without that, if you one day overnight success, it is not there in the entrepreneurship. So these are the things you have to, and this patience and perseverance. These are the two major quality you need to have. So you
Great,
will
sir.
have.
And those are some wise words right there.
Yeah.
So, this brings me to the last question. Looking forward, looking ahead, what are some key priorities and goals that you have for Go Green Warehouses in the next 5 years?
Basically, we will enter. We are into a bulk warehousing now. We are doing majorly big warehouses in agri sector. So there are three directions we will move in next 5 years. Number one, since it is into logistics sector, so we will try to connect the farmers to the warehouse. Whatever logistical services wherever we can enter, we are trying to enter. By that, we are also entering into the smaller size warehouse called micro warehousing, where we will set up our warehouses in the village level. We will try to aggregate a small quantity of that. Micro warehouse size is around 500 ton to 1,000 ton of capacity, where farmers can directly bring their produce to that particular warehouse, and we will operate that warehouse as a hub and spoke model through our big warehouses to minimize the cost. And that is the one area we are going to. So we are thinking that in next 2 years, we will establish 2 to 3 years, we will establish around 1,000 such micro warehouses across India. So that is the plan. And second thing is, if you see the other side, consumption side, this is a production side. If you see the consumption side, then we are looking into two major direction. One is whether we can go into a rail logistics, tying up with different players like rail terminals or freight forwarders and all that. So that is an area so that we can reach from warehouse to port or beyond port. So that is the second area we are looking at. And third direction is that in the retail chain, if we can establish small warehouses for Zepto or different quick service players, because it is an emerging sector. So that's a kind of dark store, smaller warehouses. So that is the third area we are looking at. So these are the three areas we will, because we wanted to be a service provider for now. We will not do any financing or any kind of trading activity. So we'll continue to be there in the logistics services. Yeah.
Looks like a promising future right there, sir. So this brings us to the end, but is there anything that you'd like to add?
I think the agriculture industry is big, and there are so many players are coming. But I would say there is a requirement of collaboration amongst all the startups and players. They are all working alone and fighting the problems alone. So I think now the time has come where government should take a step to bring all those startups together, and whoever is having a kind of strategy or strength, that strategies must be taken into consideration to make a bigger ecosystem so that India can grow. So I think now time has come. So that is my observation and suggestion for the government of India. Now it is a time that you should bring a agri-tech ecosystem where you should bring every player on the same platform for the growth of the country.
That's fabulous. I think all the emerging players can become one big major player in the industry. So yeah, that's great there. So I just want to thank you for your time and effort to for this interview, and I want to wish you all the best for your future. And thank you for taking out the time again for this interview.
Thank you, Miss Maitri. Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
all the best ahead, and have a great day.